In the village of Windsor, Wisconsin, the community struggled to make sense of the disturbing news.
At this time.
The gruesome discovery was made the day after Bart and Krista had been reported missing by their son.
Their son and his son was seen in that area.
Police turned their full attention to Chandler Halderson. He was now a person of interest and the prime suspect. While tests were being done to confirm the victim's identity, detectives arrested.
People that have seen terrible things, that rushed into fires to save lives. Over the Onion, you see the motivation was something like greed. Maybe it was a gang rivalry. This case was pure evil.
The way to torture Wally by killing her first.
While detectives search for a motive, 11-year-old Jackie and the rest of Wileen and Lily's family confront this horrible loss.
I used to spend the night at that house. My mom was crying because she knew I could have been there. Wileen and Lily are my aunts. Wileen loved dancing and was very social. She had a vintage clothing store in the Heights area.
The vintage clothing store was Waleen's passion. That was her goal, to find the most unique pieces of clothing she could.
I loved going to visit my Aunt Wileen and spending the weekend with her. I remember her taking me clothing shopping because we would go to the Sudden and my aunts aren't there. They're just taken away from me.
It was unbelievable. It was probably the most horrific day of my whole life.
It was like a horror movie for Wileen, being tortured in the last hour of her life.
A CSI team goes over every inch.
Bart and Krista Halderson had everything a couple could want. A beautiful home in Windsor, Wisconsin, and two sons they adored. 24-year-old Mitchell, who worked in tech, and 23-year-old Chandler, a college student living at home. Chandler had big ambitions. He talked of getting his IT degree, of his promising internship at an insurance company, and was especially excited about a new job he landed at SpaceX, founded by one of the richest people in the world, Elon Musk. Everything seemed to be going well for the Haldersons. So on Friday morning, July 2nd, when Krista just didn't show up at the office, Dan Croninger remembers becoming concerned.
How unusual was it for, number one, for Krista not to show up for work, not to call, and just not show up? How unusual?
Extremely unusual.
Dan and Krista not only worked together, they were close friends.
So when she hadn't said anything to me, I was like, well, that's kind of weird. It wasn't something that she would ever do.
Just a few weeks after she graduates high school.
October 6, 1979, Chuck and Cheryl were married. I was the flower girl. I got to wear the pretty dress.
The remains of an adult male had been found on a farm 20 miles from Bart and Krista Halderson's home.
At this point, it's very early in our investigation.
Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett warned residents not to jump to conclusions.
I don't want to make any uncorroborated speculations at this time.
The gruesome discovery was made the day after Bart and Krista had been reported missing by their son. And it was something detectives Brian Shunk and Sabrina Sims had never encountered.
The grass had been matted down, and they followed it to a trail which led to the discovery of a male torso that was concealed with sticks and twigs.
That was really the moment, right?
It was huge.
I think of other death investigations or homicide cases we've worked, and I don't remember a time that I've worked a dismemberment case.
And what other evidence was found out there?
We found some cutting instruments, some